Imagine going through life with just half a face. That's what happens to thousands of children every year in some of the world's poorest countries. They're victims of a disease called Noma that eats away the face. It kills 9 out of 10 and leaves its young survivors terribly disfigured.
Lovely to see you. How are you? Can you say hello?
I'm Ben Fogle, and I'm joining some of the UK's top surgeons on a mercy mission to Africa to perform life-changing facial reconstructions.
That's a challenge.
I'll travel to the wilds of Ethiopia to help seek out Noma's hidden victims. On my way, I'll find children who don't dare to show their faces in public.
It's just really tragic that people have to live like that.
Put your hand on mine, put your hand on mine.
And meet a young girl whose life has been blighted, all because of the way she looks.
Can you ask if Mr. Kima has always worn the headscarf?
I'll witness the miracles modern surgery can achieve and follow these children as they're given a new face and a new life.
I have seen the creation of a face. It's like magic.
I've rowed the Atlantic, I've crossed the Sahara, and I've walked to the South Pole. But nothing's prepared me for the biggest challenge of my life.
No, come on.
Baby Ludo's 4 weeks old, and Marina and I are settling into a whole new lifestyle.
Ready? Okay. Many other people have done this before, so I'm not going to complain about a couple of sleepless nights. Well, a month of sleepless nights so far, to be exact.
I'm not sure about the month of sleepless nights. We had a maternity nurse until Sunday night, and you slept right through the night.
Exactly.
Being a father is an incredible experience, but the scar on my arm reminds me that only a few short months ago, life was very different indeed. I'd returned from Peru with a flesh-eating tropical disease called leishmaniasis, which had eaten a hole in my arm. Without treatment, the disease would have spread to my face, leaving me disfigured for life.
The face is something that I've always taken for granted. I've not only become used to my face, but it's become a very important part of my career. Would I have had that opportunity to be on the camera if my face was disfigured in any way? I don't think so.
Oh, this is very nice.
During my treatment, I found out about Noma, a disease that's far worse, but virtually unheard of. Every year, it kills more than 100,000 children in the poorest parts of the world. The ones that survive are left with their faces literally eaten away. I've come to Leeds to meet one of the few men who's experienced in treating Noma victims, Dr. Leroux Farid, a successful plastic surgeon.
Hi,
How are you?
Leroux Farid. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Leroux's been on several trips to Ethiopia with a charity called Facing Africa. Operating on Noma sufferers there must seem a world away from high-paying cosmetic surgery.
I don't know if that's what I think it is down there. I noticed that when I came in.
Those are breast implants.
Can I see one? I don't. Wow. So that's what. That's so weird. That's very strange, isn't it?
I know that Noma preys on children and destroys their faces, but I've no idea how they get the disease.
The main cause of Noma is malnutrition and poverty. They are malnourished, they get an infection by their own bacteria and then get a gangrene of the skin. And if they survive that, this tissue falls off, the dead tissue, the gangrene, literally falls off. This patient was one that when she came into the consulting room the first time, she had a veil over her lower face, and we didn't actually think there was anything wrong. She's lovely, sparkling eyes. And then she removed her veil, and there was this shocked silence. And we just couldn't believe what we were seeing. This is the worst case of Noma I've seen.
See, that shocks me to see how that does affect the face and how severe it can be. Is quite shocking.
Yeah. And we can stop this very easily by two things. Eradicating poverty, not easy, and simple antibiotics, which these people don't have, because it takes them 3-4 days to get to a place to get the antibiotic. By that time they've died. This is a disease that can kill within 24 hours.
Noma starts as a simple gum disease, but without antibiotics, the children who get the infection will probably die. For the few survivors, their skin, bone and muscle is destroyed, leaving them unable to eat or speak properly. Their only hope is intensive plastic surgery.
Rebuild the left cheek.
So why does Ethiopia need doctors like yourself to go out there?
How many plastic surgeons do you think are in Ethiopia? The whole of Ethiopia?
100?
There are 8 in the whole country.
Wow.
There are more Ethiopian plastic surgeons in Chicago than in the whole of Ethiopia.
The next medical mission is in 2 months' time, and Nauru will be joined by 3 new surgeons. This will be the most skilled team yet to visit Ethiopia.
David, how are you? Very nice to meet you.
Leading the team will be David Dunaway from London's Great Ormond Street Hospital. He's a specialist in difficult facial reconstructions.
Everybody in life likes to give something back. So whereas lots of people in the West can help by donating money, we can help by donating our skills and time and help in a very practical way.
Before the surgical team sets out, I want to find out what it's like to live with Noma.
Say goodbye to him.
Noma's a disease of poverty, and it can appear anywhere. It only died out in Europe a century ago. It's still a huge problem in Asia and Africa, particularly Ethiopia. I remember Live Aid and its terrible images of suffering. 25 years on from that great famine, Ethiopia is still one of the poorest countries in the world. First, I'm meeting Dawit Nida, my Ethiopian guide.
Hi there, I'm Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are we off to?
We'll be off to a little girl called Mastakima now. She's a 10-year-old girl.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dawit's job is to find people who've suffered from Noma.
Big city.
He's taking me to meet a young girl who's desperately in need of help.
Hi there, hello. Is she living here with her parents?
No, that's just, she's got a guardian. This guy met her in her village. According to him, she was abandoned by her family.
To abandon your child because of the way it looks?
This is the belief many people have when something happens, is because there is a curse on the family.
And if they get rid of that child, then the curse is lifted?
In some cases, they do that. In some cases, they just, keep them like hiding and
hidden away.
Yeah.